The world of One Piece has many devil fruits, with many having interesting and otherworldly abilities, but not all devil fruits are created equally. While some fruits grant incredible abilities such as lightning control, creating earthquakes, or even becoming a literal god, others are not so incredible. The right devil fruit can turn a character from not so impressive to a force of nature. Some characters are near unstoppable with their devil fruits, but without it they are pretty unimpressive. There have been many examples of characters whose abilities have taken them to great heights. Which begs the question, how strong would these characters be without their devil fruits? As a result, I have decided to create this series called Carried, where I will look at how strong a devil fruit user is with their abilities, and then gauge how strong they would be without them. The goal of this series is to look at various devil fruit users across the series, and at the end of the video we will answer one question. Is this character carried by their devil fruit, or not? Every devil fruit user forms a fighting style around their devil fruit, but some rely on their fruits more than others. It's time to find out who is carried by their fruits, and who is not. In this episode of the Carried series, we are going to tackle quite possibly the best villain in One Piece, the Heavenly Demon, Don Quixote Doflamingo, or Dofi for short. Dofi was Luffy's first real challenge after entering the New World, and for good reason. His devil fruit made him incredibly versatile. With his devil fruit, he could swing from clouds, make a string clone of himself, become his own personal surgeon, puppet an entire army of soldiers, and of course, everyone's favorite birdcage. Dofi trivialized Luffy's Gear 2nd and 3rd attacks, pushing Luffy to use Gear 4th for the first time in the series. Dofi was also the first confirmed awakened Paramecia Devil Fruit user, turning everything around him into string. Doflamingo was clearly very skilled with his Devil Fruit, but how strong is he without it? Let's find out. Let's start with the good. Let's look at Doflamingo's durability. Doflamingo does have some pretty good durability feats. He took a Red Hawk from Luffy, as well as many attacks from Luffy in Gear 4th. Gear 4th gave Luffy a significant boost to his attack power. Luffy went from barely being able to damage or even hit Doflamingo to absolutely destroying him. Doflamingo blocked a Kong gun from Luffy that literally sent him from the top of Dressrosa straight to the bottom. He got hit so hard that he slid across the ground so fast, he hit a building and the building died. And the best part was that he actually blocked the attack, and he still got sent across the island. Just to put into perspective how strong Gear 4th Luffy was at the time, Doflamingo then proceeded to get hit by Gear 4th Luffy multiple times, and he was relatively fine. Luffy had to hit Doflamingo with the King Kong gun, an attack so powerful that it folded a section of Dressrosa. His Devil Fruit also helped with his overall durability. He was able to play doctor and repair his own internal organs after being hit by Law's Gamma Knife. Of course, without his Devil Fruit, he is just as screwed as everyone else who gets hit by that attack. Overall, Doflamingo has respectable durability, even without his Devil Fruit. Now we get to the bad. Doflamingo uses his Devil Fruit for just about everything, and this includes his speed. He uses it to fly out of the way of incoming attacks, and without his Devil Fruit, he's just left with average speed. Let's compare him to other characters. Katakuri could keep up with Gear 2nd Luffy with just his regular speed, or Kaido who could speed blitz Gear 4th Luffy, or even someone like Aokiji who can move so fast that he appeared behind Doflamingo and in front of the G5 soldiers without any of them noticing him. This shows that it is possible for Devil Fruit users to move at high speeds without using their Devil Fruits, but when you look at Doflamingo, it is very obvious that he is not one of them. Looking at Doflamingo throughout the series, he flies just about everywhere, so it is questionable how fast he would be moving on his own 2 feet. With his Devil Fruit, Doflamingo had ridiculous range. He was able to use an attack from near Greenbit, and the attack destroyed a building in Dressrosa. He was also able to puppet an entire army across the island of Dressrosa. Dofi has been known to use his pistol on occasion, so he would still have some offense at range. The question is just how good is he at using pistols? We know characters like Yasop and Van Ogre are incredible marksmen, but what about Dofi? Every time he does use his pistol, he is less than 5 feet away from his target, but I actually believe Doflamingo would make a pretty great marksman. Hear me out. When he uses his Devil Fruit, he is always attacking from mid to long range, or sometimes even extreme long range, and he has insane accuracy. He even has an attack where he fires his string like a pistol, so if he didn't have his Devil Fruit, he might make for a pretty solid marksman. Overall, I do think Doflamingo would be pretty competent at range. Without his Devil Fruit, Doflamingo's attack power is very underwhelming, and his Haki is average at best. There is really no excuse for Doflamingo's Haki being as average as it is. He has been a pirate for almost all of his life, and has even been one of the 7 warlords for years. Let me put this into perspective. Doflamingo is 41, and Luffy is 19. Before the time skip, Luffy did not know anything about Haki, and after 2 years of training, his Haki was able to reach and surpass Doflamingo's level of Haki. It is very obvious that Doflamingo spent more time on his Devil Fruit than actually training his Haki. And again, there is really no excuse for this. Katakuri is a little older than Doflamingo at 48, and he surpasses Doflamingo in every way. He has a Devil Fruit Awakening, but he also has armament Haki that was stronger than Luffy's base armament, and he also has Future Sight Observation Haki. On top of that, he is also highly proficient with his spear. Katakuri proves that a character can master their Devil Fruit, and also become highly proficient with his Haki as well. His brother Cracker also had stronger armament than Luffy did in Gear 4th, only further proving my point. Doflamingo uses his Devil Fruit for just about every attack, and you would be hard pressed to see him doing any physical attack without it. When you look back at Dofi, it is very clear that he can't really do too much without his Devil Fruit, besides maybe using his pistol or a rifle. And even when he does use a pistol, because his Haki is so average, it's not the most threatening. Someone like Ben Beckman can threaten an admiral with a rifle because his Haki is presumably much stronger. So even if Doflamingo was a competent marksman, when it comes to stronger opponents, he would need much better Haki. And as it stands right now, his Haki is not very impressive. Alright, so I went over how I view Doflamingo's combat prowess without his Devil Fruit. Now it is time to answer the question, is Doflamingo carried by his Devil Fruit? And the answer is, yes. He is absolutely carried by it. Doflamingo is a fairly powerful pirate with his Devil Fruit, but without it he has some serious shortcomings. Next to no real attacking power, and average speed. Without better Haki, it's very hard to imagine him reaching the same heights he did with his Devil Fruit. But all is not lost for Doflamingo though, because he does have Conqueror's Haki. And if he ever learned Advanced Conqueror's Haki, then this would be a different video. Conqueror's Haki in general is only given to characters who become big names in the pirate world. Doflamingo would be an infamous pirate without his Devil Fruit, but him becoming a warlord or the king of Dressrosa is very unlikely in this scenario. But these are just my opinions on this scenario, and people are free to disagree. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video or a dislike if you didn't, and consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching.